Okay. And we are live. Scoop, are you good on your end?
I'm live.
Good. Let's just put it this way. We have two Eagles fans here. This is going to be a rant and a half, and it probably should. So we have to start with it. Scoop, I'm going to lead you in with this, man.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts, that was the worst game of his career. Beyond
Yep.
unacceptable. Regardless,
Yep.
not all of his picks were his fault, sure. But again, 4 interceptions. Brandon said this before the show. 5 turnovers, 2 in 1 play. Just beyond unacceptable. And by the way, we talk about this every week about how Kevin Patullo's offense and just the offensive playbook in general, the receivers aren't open. And, Jalen at least has done a fair enough job at protecting the football, making some of the right decisions, throwing the ball away. Today, it felt, and excuse my language, Scoop, it just felt he was like, fuck it, I'm just going to throw it and see what the hell happens. And obviously, it didn't work. That's literally how this felt, Scoop. Go ahead from there.
I felt way too often today. Now, again, a lot of the game that I was following on Game Center or whatever the hell it was because I was on a plane at the time. But
You still got the gist, I assume.
I still saw every play. And I saw from Jalen, and it capitalized with that stupid ass decision on the final play to go on. I'm pretty sure it was 1st and 10, and just put it down the field with plenty of time left in the air up the right sideline. Whatever I don't understand that at all. I don't know if that was scripted that way, or I don't know if that was just him doing it himself. But he did exactly the type of shit that I have gotten on Josh Allen's ass for way too many times because it was him trying to be Superman when he could have just been fine being Clark Kent. And that was just it was the spitting image of exactly the type of stuff that I complain about. He had thrown money passes multiple times that drive. He had put the ball up the middle multiple times. Who the hell thought that we would see them advance the ball up the middle like they had done multiple times tonight? That was so refreshing to see. I thought I was watching the wrong team. And And you just cap it all off with just this ridiculous boneheaded decision when you already have turned the ball over 4 times, 3 in the air, 1 on the ground. You've already done that. When one of your biggest selling points this season had been what Coach Sirianni. What is one of the biggest things that he tells us is part of their identity? When people say, "What's Philly's identity?" One of the things is we take the ball away from you and we don't give it back. And all of a sudden tonight, that just completely flipped on its head. This was he had twice as many turnovers tonight that he had all season in the first 13 weeks. And to cap it all off with a completely forced, unnecessary, not well thought through, low football IQ decision to throw it up the way that he did when he could have either been chunk passing it, dinking and dunking it up the way, or put it in Saquon or Bigsby's hands and maybe get back to running not behind a third string center, but all these different things that they have the opportunity to do. And you made perhaps the worst possible decision you could have made in that moment when you had gotten finally perhaps the most momentum you had since you had the lead against Dallas. I don't understand what that mentality was, especially, and this is what really pisses me off more than anything, is a couple of weeks ago we had the game where going up to, I think this was the day after Thanksgiving game, where we were going up to the end of the second half, and we were talking in the group chat, and we were saying, wow, this is some of the most promising offense and some of the most optimistic offense we've seen Philly play in several weeks. And, this is some stuff we can build off of. We were saying that again today. And then once again, just like we did in that game, we go and we piss away the momentum in the most idiotic possible way.
Brandon, would you like to continue from there?
I'm almost afraid that if I do, this pod will get canceled. I literally
This is your opportunity. Take it. Run with it. Go.
I'm the biggest, probably Jalen Hurts defender. I feel like I fight off hordes every week on social media, but I'm sorry. You can't turn the ball over 5 times in a game and not be punished for it. I don't care. I don't care if it's reactionary or not. You have enough talent. Shit, I'd bench him next week against the Raiders. I don't care. I know they won't do it, but that's how pissed off I am. You cannot turn the ball over 5 times in a game. That's Nathan Peterman.
Wow, there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Except it was 5 interceptions, not 4 picks and a fumble, but it still counts.
It's just I don't. It's just now. Here's the thing. He's not the only one that gets blamed. AJ Brown, shut your mouth. You gave up on so many.
I'm so done with him. I'm so done with AJ Brown.
I'm done with him. I don't care. I don't care if he gets another 1,000 yards again. I don't care. I'm done. Get off my football team. If you're gonna half-ass it all night, what's crazy is, I think 2 or 3 of those Jalen Hurts interceptions don't happen if he just catches the damn football and shows some effort down the field.
He clearly would rather stat pad and lose than have half his stats and win. It's evident. It's beyond obvious, and I want him to get the hell out of Philadelphia for it.
I'm gonna add this really quick. I'll get to all my Monsters Inc. notes, but there was an AJ Brown of who's I think it was who's the biggest talker on the team, or who. I'll find the specifics right now. But AJ basically just started laughing, cackling, and said, "Me." He literally, that's basically what it was.
Yeah, did you?
The first time I see him take accountability for something.
Is on a Monsters Inc. podcast.
You know what pissed me off even more is when.
No. Well, really quick. Here, Roz asked the players who needs to get their way, and AJ Brown is the first one, and he starts laughing and says, "It's me," and he's cackling. That was on the broadcast today. The Monsters Inc.
Yeah, I don't.
Continue, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm tired of this passive aggressive bullshit from AJ Brown. I'm done. Get off my football team. I hate to say it this way, but if you're gonna act like a bitch, get off my football team. I don't care.
Go back to Tennessee, because clearly that's where you belong.
Go let your career die in Tennessee. Thank you for the Super Bowl. Now go die in Tennessee. I'm done. Because you just can't do this. He drops basically what would be the game-winning touchdown. He didn't
finish the route. He didn't finish the route.
What route did he finish tonight? The only route he ever actually went 100% straight through it was if he knew he was getting the ball on a quick read, on a quick slant, on a 5-yard in, whatever it was. Anything that was either a go route that he usually wins. If it was anything go route related or a wheel route or anything where it was more than 5 seconds between the snap and him catching the ball, he did not care. Because it's funny, if you look at the play before the interception happens in OT, and Jalen throws the ball, and AJ goes like this and it hits off his hand, and it goes out of bounds. Did you see halfway through the route, AJ's looking at Jalen as Jalen's rolling out to the left, and he just slows down and doesn't run his route. And then when he sees that Jalen needs help finding somebody, then he picks up again. If you run straight through, that's a catch on the sideline. I'm tired of AJ Brown half-assing everything and then saying it's all about him. What ass backwards mentality do you have where you want the ball? You want to be the guy. You basically that's like in basketball saying you want to take the final shot, but you're going to brick it just to say fuck you to the offense. It doesn't make sense. If you want the ball, then if I give it to you, which Jalen gave him plenty of chances tonight, if I give it to you, you better catch it. That one interception that Jalen threw was his third one, whatever it was. That ball's got to be caught. Troy Aikman said it. And the thing is, it didn't hit him in the fingertips and bounce off. It hit him in the palms. The palms. It went through his hands and it was picked off. You have to catch that football. I'm so tired because this is why Jalen Hurts threw 5 picks. And mostly it was a lot of it was bad reads from him. Yes. But when you're a quarterback and you feel like every week you have, and especially when you have a crap play caller, a crap offensive line, a running back that his vision has gone from 2024 Saquon to Trent freaking Richardson, when it's become that bad, at this point, I understand what Jalen's going through. I still blame him for tonight, but I understand it because he's like, oh, in his mind, he has to press, he has to be Superman because who the hell can he trust on his team? Where was Devontae Smith?
And by the way, if you guys came on here, which I know you weren't, but if you guys came on here and said it wasn't Jalen's fault, it'd be stupid because he wasn't good.
No,
you can't deny that.
You can't turn the ball over 5 times, regardless of it you being your fault or not. You can't turn the ball over 5 times and not face.
If you're turning the ball over 5 times, you can't convince me that multiple of those are not your fault. You don't just have you don't just have 5 bad luck interceptions. Like maybe 2.
Yeah, I put 2 or 3 of them on him. 2 of them I don't, but 2 or 3. But still, multiple interceptions that are on him is still bad enough. So it's like,
especially we only have 2 the whole season.
Yeah, and
the fumble was stupid as well. Let's put that there too.
Having a fumble and a pick on the same play is beyond malpractice.
I don't even remember a quarterback doing that ever.
It's because we weren't alive in 1978 when it last happened.
The Monsters Inc. broadcast malfunctioned. It was so bad.
So
did the whole damn team.
And you know what's the worst part about this too? Because this speaks to just not how bad Jalen was tonight, but the whole offense in general. And listen, Saquon's numbers look good tonight, but he was not good. 3 big runs does not mean he was good tonight because he had another 12 that were terrible. So I don't want to hear it because you know what else too? I even saw it on the first play of OT, and I was like, thank God that Troy Aikman and Joe Buck see the same thing I just saw on the first handoff of OT of their possession in OT. If you just like last year, he was cutting it back to the right. If he just literally takes that ball and cuts back to the right, the Eagles win the game. It's a home run touchdown. There was one safety that was back at like 12 yards down the field. He was not tackling Saquon Barkley.
Can I jump in on that real quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, because you mentioned the stats are going to be misleading, and I'm just going to add on to that. He was 20 for 122. His longest rush was 52 yards. So everything else except for that one rush, 19 for 70, barely averaging 3 yards a carry.
Yep. So
Gross.
it's numbers are misleading. Like that's the thing too. Like everybody, AJ had a good game because he had 7 catches for 110 or whatever. Yeah, but he also. He should
have had like 250. He should have had like you said this in the chat. He should have had like 200, 250.
Yep.
Shane,
if you want to look at numbers, you also can look at the fact that he had 13 targets and only brought in 6.
Yep.
One of us on this show could have done that.
Yep.
Shane, do you have anything that you want to bring up for the Eagles? Is there anything that you're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, that last play
pissed me off.
Oh Jesus! We have another whiteboard segment on the Eagles. Oh no! Oh,
so
yay.
Look, I have to bring this up because
thank you.
Philly's in flex right, Y attach.
That's a Madden play, by the way.
Yes.
Yes, this is.
Oh, this game was maddening.
Yeah. So, this is. I mean, it would be.
We've had 3 whiteboard segments on the Eagles, dude. Oh.
We're running a Madden offense.
Here's the thing. I mean, yes, this is a Madden play, but in Madden, it's something much simpler. In Philly's offense, they'd probably call it like flex right, Y attach, close. 30. Did he fake to him?
I think
maybe.
Fake to who?
To Saquon, like a
handoff. It was almost like an RPO, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that'd be either like 25 or 27 Buster Bluff, and then you name out the routes. X post, Z in, Y out, F corner pylon.
Can you remind me what Buster Bluff means? Because I know Sean Payton loves to use that, and I always never understood that.
It just means fake handoff.
Okay, thanks.
That's all it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, so here's the issue here, right? First of all, I don't know why X and Z are on the same side. That's
Oh,
you rarely see that. It's almost always Y and Z are on the same side, but whatever. So you got, you're only rushing 4, no switching, nothing, and the pressure still gets to him. So when you look at the corners, they're in what's called they're in what's called an Oscar coverage. So they're just playing about 5 yards deep, kind of looking like they're in zone when really it's just like loose man, pretty much. So here's the thing: AJ Brown is covered by field corner. Whoever the F was, I don't even remember.
Javon Dotson.
Yes, he's covered by boundary corner. Dallas Goedert,
Yep.
covered by Warrior linebacker. Everybody's man up, right? Rover safety comes up deep, and boundary corner follows him. So this interception happens because you have 2 Chargers right in this area. Here's what's really frustrating about this play. You might look at this and think, well, AJ Brown, the X, he's going to be covered too, right? You know what the free safety was doing? They were in cover 1, robber. He was right here.
oh my
If AJ
God!
If AJ Brown actually completed his route,
It's a touchdown.
That's
It's a
to the house.
touchdown.
6 points
That's
right there.
It's a touchdown right over the middle of the field. Oh
And
my
AJ
God!
Brown doesn't finish
But no.
the route.
He got to the field side corner, got some hands on him, and then just stopped.
Which he's done all year.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a game-winning
go.
touchdown. Are you serious?
Sorry to break your guys' hearts even more, but
Yeah. This is why I said it's on all of them. This is why, listen, Jalen's gonna get the brunt of it, and I understand he had 5 turnovers, but when you look at how all 5 of those kind of came about, it was all the same issues that have been piling up all year.
the thing is, too, Goddard, I mean, he was open for a 5-yard out, which better than an interception, but and that's what I don't understand, because Jalen was looking to the right and saw Goddard wide open 5 yards in front of him and still decided, you know what, I'm going to chuck this downfield into double coverage.
I think it's because it's just because he got baited. Because if you look at that, if you looked at it, the corner is kind of sitting midway between both. So I think Jalen just was like, you know what? I think John's open enough. But here's the problem too: you're throwing off your back foot, because I believe that was a Khalil Mack right in his face. You can't throw that ball if you're throwing off your back foot with a guy in your face. You can't throw that. It's going to be a floater, and that's what happened. It was a floater that got tipped and picked.
Especially when you're his size. He's not a huge guy.
Exactly. And Jalen's not a guy that throughout his career, he's never been a guy to fire a football, unless he has to. Because, he did it with Devontae Smith on that 3rd and 16. He fired that ball in there. But Jalen's not a guy that fires the ball into his receivers. He's just not. That's not the kind of quarterback he is. He makes it easy on the receivers to make a play. That's his style of quarterbacking. But the thing is, if there's not a guy in his face, even, he probably does make that throw to the corner for a touchdown. The guy probably would go to I forget who that corner was, but that corner would probably go to tip it, and it would go like this, right over his hand, right to Jahan Dotson. It's the little things. It's that nobody picked up the free guy off the edge. He doesn't see Goddard. Because even if he throws to Goddard there, that ball's not getting picked off. At worst, it's getting knocked down incomplete. And then of course AJ stopping on the route. there's so many problems with this offense, and it reared its ugly head in terms of Jalen Hurts' performance tonight. So it's like, as much as I hate the way he played, it's the whole offense still. Because here's the problem too: even before the interceptions tonight, play calling still terrible, still running inside zone, still running 5 to 10 yard hitch routes. They said after last week, they repeated the same regurgitated garbage of, we got to fix it. We're reevaluating. What the hell did you fix? You didn't change anything again. Nothing changed. Like, when you're out there basically running, once again, like every team has called them out for this year and every analyst has called them out for this year, when you are running a JV high school offense, there's nothing you're going to change. You're not going to change. You're not going to magically get better. So, like, I don't care next week if they lose. I don't care if they win and Jalen has a Tom Brady performance where he throws for 500 yards and 3 TDs. I still don't care.
But you should, because it's the Raiders.
But the thing is, I don't care. I accepted once we lost to Dallas and blew that 21-point lead. I was like, collapse starts now. Season over. I don't care. Because I can, just like in 2023 when I was calling the team out for bad football all season long, and I did it again this year, it's no secret. If we can smell BS from a mile away, I don't understand why Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman at the bye week didn't fire Kevin Patullo and didn't say, Nick, either you promote Scott Loeffler or we're gonna fire you. But I don't care that they were 7-1, whatever the hell they were, 6-2. I don't care at the bye week. I would have fired Nick Sirianni.
I'm gonna pause you right there because Roz also asked the players, and obviously in those segments, right, that are pre-recorded.
This should be interesting.
She asked, "Who is always watching you in the building?" The Chargers went the defensive coordinator and the head coach, Jim Harbaugh. Everyone on the Eagles said Howie Roseman. Everybody. Brandon's reaction.
It just gets. So this brings me back to my point. What the hell does Nick Sirianni do? Because he doesn't do anything. He doesn't call plays. He doesn't reinforce his own shtick of tough, detailed together. The last time the Eagles were tough, detailed together was obviously the last season. But over the course of this season, they haven't been tough. They've been more injured than most teams in the league. They haven't been detailed. They're one of the most penalized teams in the league. And they haven't been together because they're never on the same page. So where is tough, detailed together in this team? So instead of Nick, preaching, kumbaya, we're going to win as a team, lose as a team bullshit. How about the Eagles moving forward never hire a head coach ever again who has never called plays at any level, who is nothing but a yes man, and who absolutely has no clue about the ins and outs of football? Because
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yes, Scoop.
Do you keep talking about potential quote unquote replacements or successors? I'm not going to get into offensive coordinator because, quite frankly, if you ask me the 6 people I blame most for this game tonight, Kevin Patullo is not on that list.
I think it's kind of fair.
Yeah. Would you consider this offseason promoting Vic Fangio to head coach?
Oh, Jesus.
He
hasn't had a good head coach track record either.
But you know why it's tough? Because are the Eagles a good defensive team? Oh, yeah. The Eagles are a good defensive team. And the thing is, when you're a good defensive team, you want your head coach to align with your philosophy. But their philosophy has never been defense.
No, it hasn't. But my mentality there is bringing him somebody along that he can develop as a defensive coordinator for when he retires, so that we're not SOL when he does do that, which I presume is going to be relatively soon.
Yeah,
well, I mean, here's the thing with Fangio as the head coach. You have to replace the OC somewhere, and I don't know if Vic's the guy to do that.
This is why I said,
I mean, at this point, I'm letting Howie Roseman hire the new coordinators.
Yeah,
completely
that's
fine. Yeah,
that's pretty much what he went and did in last year. That could because
I know, and I'm willing to bet because they won the Super Bowl. I'm guessing that's why they let Nick Sirianni make the selection to promote Kevin Patullo. And I, but again, I think we've gotten to the point of this year where a lot of this is, and this is, I said this I think 2 weeks ago on this show. A lot of this stuff's not going to get fixed by firing Kevin Patullo.
Yeah,
not anymore. I don't
It's
think
not.
so.
No,
I think
no.
it's a bigger problem than just Patullo at this point.
There's dumbass penalties that are happening over and over and over.
Yeah.
It is just it's a complete dearth of execution, of attention to detail, of doing the quote unquote little things right. The type of stuff that and again, I understand comparing coaches to some of the greatest coaches of all time. I understand that that's a hard thing to do, but it's the kind of stuff that a Belichick or a Reed or a Carroll or whoever you want to name is a great coach from our generation. That type of shit does not happen, and it wasn't happening last year. So the fact that I don't know what happened. I don't know if, pardon me. I don't know if if Patullo and other coaches are having more influence, and that's part of it. I don't know if Sirianni, for whatever reason, has just I don't know if taking your foot off the gas is the right way of phrasing it, but I don't know if he's just kind of not done things similar to how he was doing them last year. I don't know if the amount of injuries. Now, let me finish before you say you can't blame injuries because every team's injured. Let me finish. It is. I don't know if it's because the way that they've gone about trying to manage the injuries has not worked. Because I think that's different than blaming injuries. I think handling your injuries poorly, I think, is different than blaming injuries on your lack of success. I think that So I don't know if it's that, but I think you and I both, Brandon, I think largely would have not been surprised that Howie Roseman was considered one of the more hands-on quote unquote GMs in the NFL right now. And I mean, when they hired Coach Sirianni, that kind of wasn't entirely surprising either, because you and I both remember how out of left field that was. His name wasn't anywhere on the list until he interviewed that. I think it was a Tuesday, and then the next day he was hired. We were like, "Who the hell is Nick Sirianni?" And
we still don't know, which is crazy.
And again, again, maybe I'm misguided for this. I still have a hard time looking at Super Bowl 59 and saying, oh, he was meaningless in that. Do I know exactly what role he played? No. But so I have a hard time letting go of a head coach that is 9 months removed from winning a Super Bowl. But but his staff in particular, I do agree that everyone but Fangio, I do agree.
Yeah.
They should all be told you're free to look for new jobs at other teams or, in some of your cases, McDonald's. But
maybe go help inflate the bunny.
Well, see, but you know what I wanted? Like, this is why I said, like, coming into this year, what I don't understand was, and I mean, they were hired, I think 2 weeks apart, I believe it was, or promoted. They promoted Patullo first, and then brought in Scott Loeffler. Like a week or two after. But
yeah,
I don't get how you can do, like, just looking at those two guys. Why is the more experienced guy not your OC? What Scott?
Or just not your play caller. The OC doesn't have to be your play caller.
Well, no, right. Yeah, but like it's like, but like I trust him because he has been an OC and a head coach at least the college level.
I have a question.
Yeah,
is it a chance? And again, maybe this will sound like grasping at straws, but I'm genuinely just trying to ask every question. Is there a chance that he was offered that and declined?
No, there's no way.
So.
You don't think so?
Way.
Okay.
Absolutely not. There's no way.
Because like this is the thing that I kind of have is like it seems too on par for exactly what happened after the Super Bowl loss in 22. It seems where it's like they went because the thing is just like in 22 they went straight to Brian Johnson immediately afterwards. Like they didn't interview anybody. It was a straight from within hire. So
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember. Hello. Did we interview anybody else before we went right to Brian Johnson? I can't
I think
recall.
All the interviews were. It was a 2-week interview process, but I think 90 to 95% of them were all in house. Maybe one guy was out of house. Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm double checking the list right now.
because I don't remember. I would have remembered if he would have interviewed some, because I remember how bad that season, like going into that season, and I remember, because Kellen Moore was not hired right away, and Shane Steichen came over with because Shane Steichen was brought in immediately after Sirianni was brought in, so they kind of came, I think, together more or less. So I'm trying to think, because I'm pretty sure that I mean, this is what's so hard is they win a Super Bowl last year, obviously, but I can't get out of my mind just from the first Super Bowl, the loss. Why immediately? I mean, I get it because you didn't know what Sirianni was just yet,
Right.
but it was like, oh man, letting Shane Steichen walk was such a bad decision. Like,
They should have promoted him to head coach. That's what should have happened.
I just looked it up, by the way. Kevin Patullo was the only interview that was
Oh
publicized.
my holy god!
That's even worse.
Shane,
That I think is the biggest mistake. Not over hiring him to begin with. I think the biggest mistake is thinking
he was the only one.
We already know who we're going to, and we're promoting. That just reeks to me of nepotism's not the right word, but that just reeks to me of Nick Sirianni just saying, "Oh, I'm going to promote my friend," because we know that they flew over from Indy together on the plane. We know that infamous story. That just reeks to me of he made this decision months before made this decision months before Kellen Moore left, and just decided we're not going to. I hate that. I didn't even realize that was the case. I hate that.
And what's crazy was Brian Johnson was I believe a part of that staff, and they hired him immediately too. Like,
I'm gonna go back and look. I'm gonna go back and look at that. Give me a second.
Yeah, Shane, do you have anything else to add on the Eagles side?
No. I mean,
we've buried him.
Pretty abysmal.
Would you guys like to talk about the bunny? Is there anything on the bunny?
Nope. When they get back to the NovaCare complex, pop it. Done. Pop it. Take it down. I don't care what you gotta do. I don't care if you have to stomp on it, light it on fire. I don't give a crap.
It's a vibes bunny. So maybe the vibes will help.
Tonight? Did you hear what Nick Sirianni said at going into halftime tonight?
No.
Oh my god, this is gonna be fantastic.
I didn't see it because I was watching the different cast.
He said that he believed going into halftime that the Eagles in the first half played with a lot of confidence and joy. Where?
Confidence and joy?
Where?
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw, but right after the game when they lost, it was Sirianni had like this smirk on his face. He was smiling. It's like, what the hell's going on here, dude?
Because it's like Sonny Gray 2.0. Your ass is on the hot seat, my friend. Because you know what's funny? You know what else is really damning? Was that when things are going good, they go good. Jeffrey Lurie, after Saquon scored that 52-yard rushing touchdown, he was not even happy.
Yeah.
That's what he did. He just clapped and had a straight stone face. He did not care.
You guys are going so crazy. I'm trying to be like, Shane, do you have anything else? And then Shane doesn't have anything because you guys hit the nail on the head. I love it.
Yep.
And I'm sorry. Okay, Chargers side. Shane, I'll let you start here though. Your quarterback has one hand that doesn't work. It showed, didn't it?
Yeah. And still ran like a madman and took tackles, and a few of those times I was like, but worked out obviously. It's, I mean, this is just what's been kind of going on with the Chargers during Harbaugh's whole tenure really is just like run a bunch, play good defense, you know. So yeah, I think it's I think it's like kind of indicative of that, and the fact that Herbert was able to play as well as he did, considering he just had surgery, like, not even a week ago on his hand.
It was actually a week ago now. By now, yeah, because it was last Monday.
Yeah. That's crazy. And yeah, but good for him, I guess, getting the dub. And despite that, I mean, I can't even imagine. Granted, it's not his throwing hand, but still, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even with that, I didn't like how the Chargers played. I felt it was kind of similar to how Philly played. Anything else there, Brandon and Scoop, with LA?
I mean, and this is honestly an indictment of just both teams. Is the offensive line being crap for LA too. How did the Eagles sack Justin Herbert 7 times and lose that game? How do you sack him 7 times and lose
5
that game?
turnovers on the other side.
Like it's, the defense was good for us. But I'm saying, but the thing is, that's how bad the Chargers' offensive line is too. Like, but we knew their offensive line was terrible. Cooper DeJean. Like, this is what's crazy. Cooper DeJean put Ladd McConkey in jail tonight. Like, Quinyon Mitchell has a bad penalty. I understand that, but still was good tonight. Was really good tonight. Quinyon Mitchell's going to be an All-Pro, whatever. But like, the Chargers didn't do anything crazy. Like, and Herbert was taking a beating. I mean, he didn't have a good night. He had multiple turnovers himself. Obviously not as many as Jalen, but still had multiple turnovers himself. Like, this game hurts my heart for 2 reasons. A, it's my team. B, it's my former college quarterback. So this hurts me twice over. Just because Justin Herbert, I could see if we played bad and he took advantage of that, and the offense and their offense took advantage of that. They didn't either. Like, both these teams play like crap, and then the thing is, you get, like, they didn't move the ball as much as we didn't move the ball. So, like, it's just the biggest problem. Here's the one thing, and this is pretty much the one reason why the Chargers even won this game, because nobody contained Justin Herbert on the scrambles. There was no contain. They had no plan for stopping Justin Herbert on the ground.
And he has a broken hand.
But it's not gonna stop your legs from working.
I know, but he got hit in the hand too in some cases, and he still was good.
They had to change his wrap like 4 times.
Like, that's like, and it's amazing how a guy like that. It's also crazy how we can be that bad defensively to let Justin Herbert run on us, but that's pretty much what happens. Like, most of the Chargers' big plays were not passing plays. It was Justin Herbert taking off and running for first downs or close to it, extending drives, and then they would get maybe like a dink and dunk play for a first down. Then they would get maybe like a 15-yard pass play for a first down. But then once again, the next play or play after would be another Justin Herbert run, another like 9 yards. I'm like, guys, is anyone going to be anywhere near Justin Herbert tonight? Like, how is he fooling you that bad? And it's like, it's Justin Herbert. He's not fast. I mean, he's deceptively fast. He's not fast. Like, but that's the only reason pretty much the Chargers won this game was Justin Herbert's legs, and also Dicker being a good kicker and Jake Elliott's not.
My God, that Jake Elliott miss! You saw it right when he walked up.
I can tell when Jake Elliott's about to miss just by his body language.
Scoop, go ahead on that piece if you'd like.
I was doing a little bit of research because we were talking about we had talked about how Patullo was the only interview to replace Kellen Moore, and I did some research on going back to when they had to replace Coach Steichen, and I found an article from NBC Sports Philadelphia. Say that 3 times fast. And here's a clip that I found Replacing Steichen won't be easy. He was pivotal in Jalen Hurts' development, and his aggressive, unpredictable play calling was a hallmark for the Eagles in their ascension to Super Bowl team. But highly regarded quarterbacks coach Brian Johnson, who was coached in high school by Jalen Hurts' dad, is the natural successor. Like Steichen, the 35-year-old Johnson has a terrific relationship with Hurts, the MVP runner-up. He was a prolific college quarterback himself. He passed for nearly 8,000 yards and 57 touchdowns at Utah and coached at several colleges before Sirianni added him to his initial staff last year. So it doesn't say it explicitly, but it sounds pretty much to me like, again, like it sounds like both times they pretty much had somebody in mind. Not only in mind, it sounds like they pretty much locked in on somebody and didn't even bother anything else.
Yeah.
That's what hurts, pun intended. That's what hurts really bad is because, I get they have the final say, but also it is Sirianni's call before anybody else. So Howie and Jeffrey Lurie trusting Sirianni to make that call, like, okay, you got burnt the first time. You went out, got an experienced OC, won a Super Bowl. Why would you let him do it again? Why? Why did you learn him the first time?
My my guess there is they thought, okay, well, maybe that was just, somebody who wasn't ready or whatever. One person's not really a trend. So that would be my guess, is that they figured, well, just because it was wrong once doesn't mean it's going to be wrong again. I would never let him pick another coordinator for as long as he's a head coach at this point. Or at least not an inexperienced one. Because I don't know if Steichen and or Kellen Moore, I don't know if those were Sirianni picks or if those were Howie picks. But either way, if I'm letting Sirianni pick again, if those were his picks, and if I'm letting him pick again, I'm not letting him hire anybody without play calling experience, because it's just, on one hand you've got Brian Johnson. I'm sorry. On one hand you've got Shane Steichen and Kellen Moore, and then on the defensive side you've got Vic Fangio and John Gannon, and then on the flip side you've got Sean Desai, Matt Patricia, and whoever the other DC was, whose name I don't remember. And then of course the two we just talked about offensively. Like, I'm not as far down the line on the fire Sirianni train, obviously, as some people are, but that whole staff needs to be shaken. Yeah, some people are. Ebenezer Scrooge down there.
Add myself to that list.
I don't think that, because I don't think they ever should have hired him to begin with. But anyways.
That's fine. Scoop, anything else on the Chargers that you wanna catch before we move on?
I mean, again, I respect. I respect what Justin Herbert was able. I mean, he didn't play great, but for the fact that he just had a hand surgery, and the fact that there was speculation as recently as this morning that they weren't sure if he would be ready to go. It sounds like he was either a game time decision, or they wanted us to believe he was a game time decision. I don't know which of the two it was.
He was just questionable. I didn't hear anything about it. He was just questionable the whole time until warm-ups.
Okay.
They greened him.
But again, this is not an Anthony Lynn team anymore. This is a well-coached team by Jim Harbaugh, and this is a team that, even when Justin Herbert looks like he did today, aka not good, it's a team that's still going to be ready to punch you in the face defensively. And I mean, shucks, apparently Philly forgot that in order to run, you don't need to use your hand, because Justin Herbert just took it to him on the ground. And even though I'm not a Justin Herbert fan, obviously you still got to respect the talent that he does have. Also, this is the first time I've ever seen a team's number one receiver, yardage-wise, have the number one receiving total on your team with only one reception, and that's Kimani Vidal.
Vidal had a good day.
He had 60 yards for one touchdown. I'm sorry, 60 yards for one reception, rather. Nobody else, according to this here, nobody else had more than 22 yards receiving, but it didn't end up mattering, did it?
Jesus. All right. Here's some of the Monsters Inc. notes, and the Eagles fans in here might be more pissed or more laughed at this.
I don't know if I
There's
can
a
be
lot
more
of
pissed.
You can't hurt me anymore.
the red zone is the laugh floor. That was like the first thing because they were trying to explain what the red zone is. They were explaining the red zone. They were explaining flea flicker. They were explaining pancake block. I'm like, these are kids watching this. Explain the basics first. Dan Orlovsky said, "Does Mike Wazowski having one eye help him in football?" Which I was like, what the hell?
Might have helped you, Dan.
Mike Wazowski was talking about, hey, what about like playing football? He's like, listen, I played games where I was the ball, so this is much better. They had QB audio this year, and it like from the actual broadcast, you could hear like Herbert and Hurts, just like doing their calls, and I was like, okay, that's better. This is the best one all night. So we were talking about Kevin Patullo and like the hitch routes and stuff. They ran like a 2-yard hitch that was caught, and on the video board it said, "Great play!" I'm like, nothing happened. It was a 2-yard catch. Why does it say "great play"? Nothing happened. It was a stupid 2-yard hitch. It was so dumb. I was like, what is happening? The Child Protection Agency was the refs, so they did all the flags and stuff. Sully may be the best defensive lineman in the NFL. Yes, he's actually better than Myles Garrett. He absolutely was dominant. There was this kid, right? When they were going like, "Oh, you're watching Monsters Inc. Fun Day Football," right? Like whatever, right? They do that all the time. The introduction after every commercial break was, "This is a general audience program." Are you telling me that the NFL is TVMA? Why do you need to say that it's a general audience program every time?
I mean, yeah.
Like, is the NFL TVMA? I don't know. They asked the players who was afraid of monsters. Everyone said they were except Jalen Hurts. Although he probably was seeing monsters today, unfortunately. Mike Wazowski wants to take the Eagles playbook and use it as a stepping stool. So
Use it as toilet paper.
I saw this later in the game. So they used a monster's they used a monster's long ass tongue as the chains. They're holding this guy's tongue and tugging on it, and that was the chains. I was like, what the hell? It was so stupid. The crowd was excellent. Not only that, they late in the fourth quarter, they did Fly Eagles Fly. They did Let's Go Chargers for 2 hours and a half. And my thought to that was, oh my God, that's the most Let's Go Chargers fans ever.
They called it in. The script was in.
Not only that, there were more Let's Go Chargers chants than in the history of SoFi Stadium in one night in Metropolis.
You know what the worst part about all this was? I just thought about it. I don't know why it took me so long to get around to this. It was an Eagles home game, and they still lost, which never happened.
This was in LA, right?
Bro, it's because the Chargers don't have a good.
Because the Chargers don't have fans and the Eagles travel well.
The Chargers don't have fans, so this was the Chargers home game, or this was an Eagles home game. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point. Again, I said the crowd was excellent. They just improved on that. The fumbles were stupid. I don't know how. So the major problem with why the broadcast still doesn't work, and they haven't improved on it since they did it with Toy Story the first time. It's behind the actual broadcast by at least 3 minutes. That's massively unacceptable. I know they have to get this. Yeah. I know they have to get the data and all. It's unacceptable. You have to have the other I had to have the other broadcast on the left side to know what was actually going on. And I got to see the time difference. It's 2.5, 3 minutes. It just makes the broadcast almost unwatchable because it's behind by so much. The fact they haven't fixed that is such a massive issue. And then obviously they just didn't know how to animate any turnover tonight. and minus a couple interceptions. I was like, what the hell? And then apparently there was a club, like an actual like club called the Canister Club, and you just see monsters just partying in the like, and they were showed this like 6 times. I was like, well, we're not. This is a football game. We're not going clubbing. What is happening? So that's all my notes. I really enjoyed it. I love these broadcasts, but we gotta fix the time delay. We have to fix it. It's been way too long. I rather just do at this point I rather just do what Nickelodeon does with the Nickelodeon broadcast. Just have the real game and have Mike and Sully be commentators, and that's it. Or like have them be in the commentary booth. Because I just can't deal with the 3-minute time delay. It makes the game so fucking hard to watch. I genuinely
like we're seeing literally a 1st and goal, and they're back by the 50-yard line. Like like 6 plays before that. I'm like, why is this so behind?
It's so behind. It's not worth doing because they've done it for 5 to 6 years now. It's not worth doing if it's this behind. It's genuinely not worth it.
Yeah.
I'd rather just see the real play.
They keep claiming that because they need time to animate it. It's 2025. We have technology up the ass. Why does it take this long to animate it?
The reason why it takes so long is because they need the player data that's in their helmets. That should be instantaneous. Come on, guys.
Saying it's 2025.
You ever heard of live mocap?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's
so
2025. We have flying cars, for God's sake. We actually do. They built one 15 years ago. Why can't we figure this out?
So again, that's my pitch to ESPN. Do like the Nickelodeon broadcast, where it's the actual game in real time, no delay. It's the real players. We don't have to animate anything. Just put Mike and Sully in the booth with Dan Orlovsky, and I always forget the other guy. I apologize. Just put them in the booth with them, make them a sideline reporter, and have the normal game. If you guys aren't going to animate this quick enough, it's not worth watching. As much as I love it, it's not worth watching if it's 3 minutes behind. It's genuinely not. And it's been 5 years of this. It's not. So that's my take about the Monsters, Inc. game. If they could somehow fix that, it would be the greatest broadcast ever, but they can't fix it. Shane, do you have anything from Sunday that you would like to talk about?
Not really. I mean, Bengals-Bills game was cool, even though it was like infuriating for many reasons. But
what were those reasons?
Just no defense, and then defense decides to, show up at the last minute. And yeah, it's it's just like further proof that both of those teams have terrible secondaries, and they're driven by offenses. So it's but otherwise, I mean, things pretty much went as expected. Wasn't anything too crazy.
Last night we did the in and out game for all 30 or for most of the teams that are in the playoff hunt. Are there any teams in the NFL right now that you're like 100% in on, or like a soft in? Because I know Scoop is trying to like
Patriots.
Log it. Okay.
Rams. I mean, Broncos, I guess. Who else? Seahawks. I want to say Green Bay, but I don't know, I'm not quite there yet. I don't know. We'll see if this lasts after Toyotathon.
That's what I said last night.
Yeah.
So Patriots, Rams, Seahawks, and maybe Packers. Anybody else?
I'd have to think about it a little more.
Okay. So far, the only team we're all in on is the Rams.
Damn. Okay.
We have been all. That's no surprise. We've been
It's
all
not
year.
surprised. But one team, Jesus.
Yeah, there are two teams that all three of us were in on yesterday that you didn't name, but we'll see if you end up naming one of them.
Who's that?
The Texans and the Lions.
Yeah, Houston's offense is just so anemic.
Yeah.
You know, and what was the other one? Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the flip side for them.
Yeah.
Right.
100%, yeah.
They're not anemic. They're like on cocaine and caffeine at the same time.
Yeah, and I don't trust their play calling. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the problem. Every team this year has some big issue. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And even the worst teams have something where it's like, oh, that's pretty good. You know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just a crapshoot. I think when it will become more clear is when we get to January and we have a clear playoff picture and we can see matchups, and then it's like, okay, then we can go from there. But as of right now, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. All right, Scoop, do you have anything fun from the Vegas trip that you want to share for post credits before we do the film?
Oh boy. I don't really know. Oh well, I will say this. This was funny. So I went to the Sphere on Saturday night for with my mom for a Zach Brown band concert. And we got to our seats, and obviously, as you guys well know, because we talked about it quite a bit, just a couple hours before the concert, Alabama got steamrolled by Georgia. And I ran into somebody who couldn't have been more than like 5 or 6 seats away from me, decked out in Georgia Bulldog gear.
Damn!
Yeah. So, of course, me being who I am, when he walked past me, I had to give him a roll tide. And I said, congratulations on kicking our ass. I said, it's about time. And he said, and he was giving it back to me at the same time. And so that whole thing was just funny to, being in Las Vegas, and I run into the one freaking Georgia Bulldogs fan 3 hours after they just wiped the floor with us. And then twice since then, yesterday and then today at Harry Reid Airport, which is the Las Vegas airport. No, I'm sorry. Saturday night when we were leaving the Sphere, and then today at Harry Reid Airport. Randomly around me, Fly Eagles Fly chants break out. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell are these chants breaking out in Las Vegas for? No complaints whatsoever, but it was just hilarious to me.
The Raiders suck, so you got to pick somebody.
Yeah, but it's like, there's like 30 other teams. How did it end up being Philly, and how did it end up being right where I was? But yeah, no, that was so. But we got to have some great restaurants. If you guys know the Cake Boss, Buddy Velastro got to go and try his stuff out. He had there was a Carlos Bakery there, right, and then a restaurant right across from there. We went to that, and went to the rodeo. We didn't go to the rodeo itself, but we went to the merch tent for the rodeo. So got some new boots for the first time in 5 years.
Nice.
So had a great time. My first time to Vegas, my first time to Nevada. Definitely would go back. We had an awesome vacation, and but like I said, I was looking forward to being back on with y'all tonight. Couldn't have asked for a worse topic to be able to discuss with y'all in terms of the game tonight. But at least I'm having the conversation with the right people. So there's that.
Well, good you can make it, and happy to have you home safe and sound. Shane, before we actually go into the Martian, I forgot to ask, do you have any college football playoff thoughts?
Yeah, Notre Dame got robbed. Bama does not belong. Next.
3 out of 4.
Sorry, Scoop.
I'm sorry.
3 out of 4. What does 3 out of 4 mean?
Brandon, no Alabama. Me, no Alabama.
Oh.
Shane, no Alabama.
I mean, you could even say 3.5 because I said I could go either way.
Which
Okay, 3.5.
yeah, 3.5.
Cool.
Yeah.
3.5.
But
I mean, if they were in as like 12,
well, see,
then-
like,
Well, they had to be in
as
as 10. They had to be in at 10. They couldn't
Well,
be
that's
in
what I was
12. They
saying.
had
Is
to be
like
at 10.
I would have had
No, I
less
know,
of a
but-
not that I had a problem with them being in, obviously, but like I would have found it easier to defend them being in had they been moved down to 10.
Yeah.
But keeping them at 9 after losing by 21 to Georgia, who
Oof.
we've been the one team that's had Georgia's number the last 5 years, or 3 years anyway. It's just that I did agree, just objectively, just didn't make a whole lot of sense. But like I also said to you guys yesterday, or 2 days ago, I guess now because now it's Tuesday.
My apologies. Another overtime game. Sorry, you East Coasters.
I mean, I was on your time zone until about 5 hours ago, so or 7 hours ago, I guess. But like I was saying yesterday, the only way to show if that was a bad decision or not is for them to go out there and take it to Oklahoma and put the Sooners on their backs and not please, for crying out loud, don't look completely useless in the running game. Like I understand that. I understand it's not your forte this year, but I can't watch both Ty Simpson have a mediocre game and no running game because then the Sooners are just going to beat us by 40. And
Sounds like one team that we've just covered tonight.
It kind of does, unfortunately. Okay, let's go on to the most positive thing we're going to do today. Our movie this week, Shane, was The Martian. Now, before you get on to your spiel about The Martian, I have one question for you about the movie.
Yeah.
As a director, what is it like to have, I don't know if you've experienced it, but what is it like to have one-on-one time with an actor for as long as Ridley Scott and Matt Damon had in this movie? Because there's just so much time between the two of them that I think it just adds to how amazing this film is.
And I'm glad you asked that because this was going to be one of my main points. As an actor, you are taught and trained to do three things. Acting, when you look at it as a whole, comes down to just this. What's my character's objective? How am I going to achieve said objective based on my personality, my motivations, whatever else? And 3, how am I going to react and interact with other characters in order to get that? Those are really, when it comes down to it, those are the 3 things you're doing when you're acting. And so the fact that Matt Damon was so charismatic and so entertaining, doing very mundane things. I mean, he was growing potatoes and, trying to harvest water. Like, it was, the fact that he was able to do all that so well is really impressive. I mean, let's just call it like it is.
Yeah. And then to add to that, Matt Damon, he had an interview with Variety going through his movies. And one of the things he said about The Martian that he really, remember when he cries when he finally gets back together with his crew? He said that was raw emotion because he never heard a voice basically the entire time of filming other than Ridley Scott.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and that's, and props too to the, makeup department, production design for showing, just the slow progression as he goes to like, going from being this, kind of good looking, muscular, charming guy to being, all bearded and skinny and, just which I mean, you know, you would be after all that, you know. Yeah, and so you know, and I mean things I like, you know, I like how it's surprisingly funny, you know, just
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Mark Watney's he keeps those video logs and they're very sarcastic, very snappy. Um, you know, but you can still feel his isolation. Um, and yeah, and I mean, I think this is probably the best performance of his career.
Yeah.
At least that I've seen. Um, but yeah, no, it's and, you know, I just think I guess his the way he's able to essentially carry the film just by himself is amazing. Yeah, he was nominated for an Oscar. He probably would have won if this wasn't the same year The Revenant came out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which, ironically, another movie about a guy stranded and just by himself, but very, very different, obviously. Um, but yeah, and I love because um, I did a minor in like you know Earth and you know solar system sciences, I guess. And the science is incredibly accurate in this movie.
Yeah. Who was it? Was it Neil deGrasse Tyson who said this is one of his
Oh
favorite
yeah,
movies because it
yeah,
approaches it accurately,
yeah, because it
pretty
does.
accurate.
But but yeah, no, it was. And there's one thing that's total BS when he's leaving his pod and going onto their ship, and he's like using the I don't even know what you call it to like propel himself up. That would not
Oh, the
work.
Iron Man thing.
that
Yeah,
would
yeah.
never
No,
Right? Yeah.
no.
No. That's yeah. That's lunacy. But otherwise,
good pun.
yeah. But otherwise, I mean, it was very good.
It's like that scene with Matt Damon when they're like taking apart the pod and asking him to go as fast as possible. He's like they're expecting me to object to this lunacy, but I'm not going to tell them that I'm going to do it.
And that's really the only thing I don't care for is just the ending. It feels a little too easy or a little too convenient. You know, I mean, based on everything they've been building the whole time, and then just okay, yeah, and it comes out, and you know, oh, I'm here. It's like,
Especially if you're being accurate, it's like they couldn't figure out a way to make it to tie it in better.
yeah.
Yeah.
So so yeah. Anyways,
What's your
that's
rating?
A minus, I'd say. Yeah.
Brandon.
Thank God that we're doing the movie because I needed a palate cleanser after that. Yeah, like the one thing I think that, and this is my third time watching it. It's the second time that I'm watching it straight through though, because the other time I watched it in passing, and because my grandfather had it on back when we had cable. He had it on, was watching it, but I think that after the second time watching it and kind of really taking it in more on the second watch, it's the one thing that's really good about this movie, and I think that really kind of keeps this movie from being boring, is a lot of space movies kind of leave a lot, I guess, a lot of room for stuff to breathe. Whereas in this one, they're only showing the most important parts of his journey, which is good because sometimes you get into a space movie and it's like, you know, the scenes are dragging on too long, like they're dragging out the theoretical days like too long or not enough, or
the data itself, and
yeah, or the data's not right. Like, every scene was important in this movie, especially during, once he gets stranded and realizing, okay, like it's funny because it's a you know it's what is it, a 2 hour and 20 minute movie, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like half of it.
not even close. Nope. Yeah.
Like, so it's, you're not going through the entire, obviously, time span because it would take too long, but a lot of space movies leave, like, too much, I guess, kind of dead air, and this movie doesn't. And what helps that,
It's pretty quick.
yeah, and what helps that along, what makes it even seem quicker, is just the score. The soundtrack and score are just so good. It's so good.
Not only just the actual OST with the normal music that you see in movies. I loved adding Waterloo in there. Starman worked. Like,
Yeah.
the actual, like, songs that you're accustomed to listening to really worked.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it. Is like, people don't realize this though, because people, when we talk about like good movies, everybody's like, oh yeah, good actors, good editing, good lighting, all these different things. But a good soundtrack can make or break your movie. Like, if you don't kind of pick and choose the right songs for the right moments, and the right kind of, if you have an orchestra, the right kind of build up for certain moments and something like that. Like, we always see those memes on social media. They're like, oh yeah, like, every movie is not that serious if you put like clown music to it, like, or like polka music or something stupid. Like, then it's like, everybody's like, oh yeah,
Soundtrack dictates the score or
Yeah.
the tone.
yeah. And it's like, and the thing is, like, and that's probably why it's also good, because the score in some ways acts as a contrast to what Matt Damon's character is going through, because it's lonely, it's desolate, like, living that way and having to do those things every day is repetitive, but they balance that out with having David Bowie, having Donna Summer as part of the soundtrack, like having livelier music to mix in with the moments of just.
Hell, even the disco that he's listening to, and he's making
That's-
fun of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because you could easily do this space movie just like others have done it, and not interject those little kind of moments of like humor and like upbeat music. Like, a lot of space movies, they just continue with that same alone feeling, downtrodden, worried, stranded, like, paranoid, and then in the score, like, the orchestra will come in and it kind of reflects that. And sometimes it does in this movie. But when you then basically inject it with those moments of like more upbeat songs, a little bit more humor, a little bit more kind of like, and having Matt Damon's character making, saying to the camera, like, they pretty much, he's going to make the most out of this situation, like, making jokes that he's a space pirate and all these different things, like, those little things
Yeah.
make the movie so much better than what a standard, space movie would be.
He's explaining the science and also, like, the history, and he's like, oh, here's this bizarre thing, and he interjects some humor with it, and it makes you rewind it and want to understand it, and just have, yeah.
So it's just really good. It's just really, really good. I mean, obviously all the actors are pretty famous in this, and they're all great in their own right. So once again, another good cast. It's funny because it's not like it's not an ensemble cast, obviously, but it's not like it's weird, because when you have a big cast full of really good actors, like even Donald Glover's part in this movie is great. Like, when you have, him, Jeff Daniels, Jessica Chastain,
A lot of MCU alums, by the way, in this cast. A mass amount.
But it's funny because they're kept separate from Matt Damon's character in this movie, which is like, so it's really
until
good
the end. Until the end, yeah.
Until the end. So, but the thing is, they each hold their own. Matt Damon can hold his own, being by himself in the movie, because that's how good Matt Damon is. And the cast, when their side of things gets shown, those little like 5-minute scenes that they have together, they're all interacting really well. It doesn't come across forced, doesn't come across like silly dialogue, it doesn't come across like, That's another thing too. Even their dialogue has some moments of humor, which makes the situation a little lighter. Because if you do this movie as a traditional, just regular space movie where it's just downtrodden, scared, paranoid, like and that tone continues throughout a movie, which a lot of space movies do, then it makes for a boring movie. It makes the pacing slower. It drags everything down. So this movie kind of subverts that. So that's why it's like it's a really good watch because it's like and it's weird because this is a fictional situation. Well, maybe not in the next 10 years, but this is a fictional situation where you're getting someone back from Mars, and it's like, but because it's so well acted and the sound design is so good and you have people in Times Square and all across the world watching him be rescued, like you're almost compelled to believe it's real.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. Is like this is so well thought out and well done from every aspect between the science, the characters, and none of the characters are that one dimensional really. The moments of tension, the moments of humor, the moments of paranoia, like all these different things, and it just makes for. This is why this and Interstellar are considered pretty much the two best modern space movies ever.
Yeah.
And it's like
Gravity in 2013 doesn't come close, by the way.
Not to those two, no. And
No.
And the thing is, I like The Martian more than I like Interstellar. I know that's
I'm there with you after seeing it again. Yeah.
That's it.
Shane, Shane, are you there? Are you taking The Martian over Interstellar? Okay.
I still like Interstellar just a little bit because I think the concept is just a little more clever, and I think the emotional payout is a little stronger.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But The Martian, I think, is definitely much more fun.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
And my favorite part of the whole thing is at the very end when he's in that college lecture hall and he's done giving his lecture and he's like, all right, any questions? And literally everybody's like, yeah.
Duh. I love the lecture hall scene because that's if you're an astronaut or an aspiring astronaut, you have to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Partially because of the ending. Because it's like, hey, dude, you are going to be in a life or death situation. You are putting yourself in that situation. You have to be prepared for that.
You might not be on Mars, but you're going to be in space. You're going to be in space.
And
space.
Yeah, and by the way,
he said space doesn't cooperate. You have to solve one problem, solve another, solve every single problem, and then you get home.
And then hope you get home.
And then if you solve all those problems, you probably will get home. Hopefully, more than likely.
Yeah.
Yes, Shane.
Well, I was going to say, and by the way, it's there's situations like in the beginning, the crew was 100% right to leave him.
Yes.
When
yes, 100%.
You might see it and be like, oh, screw them. It's like,
no.
If they go back for, they go
back for him, they're gonna die.
They're all dead.
Right. They saw what happened to him. For all they know, he's dead. And if they go back, they're gonna die. So save yourself.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Save your crew.
And things like, like you were saying, Robert. It's like space is not. We belong on Earth, not in space. Or on Mars or Venus or wherever.
We're not used to space. Space doesn't. Yeah.
No, Mars is the most habitable other planet for us, but it still doesn't mean it's habitable. It's
still a dangerous and it's still a way longer trip than going to the moon, obviously. So
and I'll add this: the weather there. Shit.
Well, it's because here on Earth we have the atmosphere, the air we breathe is about 70% nitrogen, 20% oxygen, and then 10% like just a mixture of random things. CO2, methane, whatever. But on Mars, it's, I believe, 95% carbon and 5% oxygen.
Yeah.
Not to mention, it's like it can get as cold as like 240 below zero. So it's not, the reason there's no life there is because it's not made for life. I mean, the only place in our solar system that could, other than Earth, that could maybe have life is Titan, which is one of Saturn's moons.
It's too far away. We're never going to get there. At least not.
That's the thing. It takes like 15 years to get there, and it's still colder than you know what over there. But Titan has oceans. They have an atmosphere. They have weather. I mean, things that. But anyways,
what I'm saying is like the weather on Mars that he had to deal with and they dealt with, held the storm at the beginning. It's nuts. It's insane. It's unbelievable. Brandon, what's your rating before I go?
Yeah, this will be high on my list this year, especially because we're getting towards the end of the movies this year. This is gonna be. I'm gonna give it a 9. This is a 9. It's a 9.
It's all right. Did I give a 10 out this year? I'm trying to remember.
Maybe once.
Yeah.
Maybe once.
Her.
Okay, I gave her a 10. Put this above her. Give me this a 10, please. This is a 10. It's great. It's just, and it's not okay. The reason why this is a 10 is not have anything to do with the movie. I have like a personal attachment to this movie. I don't know what it is. This and Interstellar, I just love. I just love it. I love it too much. It's such a good movie.
I mean, you know what? I might watch it again after this. Forget it. I'll change. You know what? I will change. I'm gonna say a 9.5. I was debating 9.5 or 9, but I think I've given out a 9 this year. I don't remember what it was. So I'm gonna. This will probably be my highest there. I'll say 9.5.
Yeah,
I'll go 9.5.
Yeah, Scoop. I know you were traveling and weren't able to see this, but hopefully our discussion makes you want to see it because it's gonna be great.
It certainly has. I mean, I can't remember the last movie each of y'all all spoke so highly. So that certainly has. Come again?
Go ahead. Sorry. No. I'm just gonna say, there's no movie that we've all been this highly praising of. I don't think at all this year. But finish up, Scoop.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I get the thing is, I'll be real. I don't think this cast should work. It feels so weird. Everything about I'm just like, this cast really shouldn't work, but it does. And it does so perfectly that I'm even more. It just shouldn't. I really don't think it should, but it does. And especially Donald Glover's character, he just pops in the middle, and it's like,
so good.
How do you work? How does this movie work? And then for the stuff with NASA, right? They didn't fully talk about it, which they didn't need to. But it's like, all right, we got money from Congress. We got this. Do we tell the crew? We need to tell the crew. We have money. We have this. We have that. We are making mistakes. We're making mistakes trying to get them food up there. And then they're like, well, what the hell do we do now? And so the panic, not only from just how do we treat the public, because this is a giant PR nightmare for NASA. I mean, hell, Brandon and Scoopy would know if you were in this situation doing media and communications. Can you imagine just the PR nightmare this would be? Oh, it's insane. It's beyond insane.
It's a catastrophe.
It's a catastrophe.
There is no PR nightmare. There's no PR nightmare. The PR department would be just blown to pieces.
Dead. Yeah. And then they have to rush and not sleep to get all these things done. And then towards the middle, you see everyone being like, screw money, screw our plans, from China to anywhere in the world, be like, we just got to get this guy home. So, I mean, and that's how it would be in real life too, I'll be honest. I think we as humans have enough dignity to do that. But every time I watch this movie, I'm like, one of the things I like about it is just we don't see the psychology of Matt Damon, like him actually talking about it and being open about it, because even just us talking like this, we're talking with other humans, right? We're built to be around other people. to not be around someone for so long is so draining mentally, so draining physically. But then when I was watching this, why you don't hear him talk about it is because you see it on his face.
Yeah.
Every bad situation, everything he does, even when he smiles, he smiles and he's going, fuck. You know, like I feel it. I feel it so much. And that was kind of what brought me to it. I was like, I wish we had more psychological aspects of it. And then I realized, oh, it's just all in his face. They just decided to put it as facial expressions, and it makes so much sense. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's so good. It's a great film. I know I don't ask this enough, but Shane, what's our movie next week? Or
Das Boot.
Das Boot?
Das
What
Boot.
is that? What the heck is that?
The red hairs on my German chin are now growing.
It's here. I'll send it to you. Watch the theatrical cut, not the director's cut, please.
Really quick. When are we doing Bad Santa? Or are we doing it in 2 weeks?
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas.
Because Christmas is in 2. Okay, yeah. So Christmas weekend.
Christmas
That's perfect.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Still gotta buy gifts, and I know that I'm getting the Philadelphia Eagles this year. A lump of big freaking coal. So
don't even bother with that. They'll probably drop it and it'll fall incomplete.
I like it. Thank you, Scoop. That was great timing.
Here you are, fellas.
Das Boot.
Yeah, I see it. It's a German war film.
Yeah.
Ooh. Fun.
What is it with you in war films this year? Why are we going to war so much?
Wait, no. This is a historical drama. This is not like a combat war movie. This is
a German war film.
This is more like Downfall than it is like Hacksaw Ridge.
Okay.
That's good. It's a psychological drama thriller.
That's weird because they don't call it that.
Well, they're wrong.
What do they call it?
Yeah, they're calling it a West German war film.
Wow, I did not see that coming.
I would not call it that.
Okay. So no director's cut.
No. It's like almost 4 hours long.
Oh God. Oh boy.
All right. Well, for Shane, for Brandon, for Scoop, for myself, hopefully not Florida. Hopefully Tampa Bay and Atlanta have at least somewhat better football than what we got today. I'm praying.
I don't see how it could be worse.
Yeah.
But we will see you all on Thursday. Peace out, everybody. 2 more Thursdays to go, by the way.
Woo.
2 more.
Good night.
All right. Later, fellas.
Peace out, everybody.
Night, everybody.